Hello, hello, hello. Well, hello, hello, hello. Hello, where is everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? Hi, Rachel. I was thinking, oh no, maybe nobody is on. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh no, no, no. Maybe I just picked a bad time. I mean, it was a beautiful day, so it is quite possible people, just are out. How are you, honey? Oh my goodness, I am pooped, 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 pooped. Up and down steps, up and down steps, in and out the yard, in and out the yard. I am pooped. Your gas meter? Do you mean for your home? Like an outside meter that they come to read? Or are you talking about, well, I'm assuming you're talking about something for your house? Oh, okay. So yeah, I was right. You're talking about your gas for your house. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. How do you know it's broke though, honey? So who would be responsible for fixing that? Your gas company? I know here, if you have like a problem with your electric meter or the water meter, gas, that particular company is responsible for fixing it or replacing it for you. I actually seen that online. I watched a bunch of videos here on YouTube when that universal credit first came into effect, and I wanted to check it out and see what it was all about. And there was a woman in like a little like a neighborhood supermarket, and she was using her bank card, and she put money on her gas so she could cook. I thought, ay, 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 ay. It's very expensive over there, isn't it? The electric and the gas. They won't fix it until you have no gas. Oh gosh. Oh, well, that's terrible. Is that a safety thing? No. Is that like a safety issue? Although I really wouldn't see what that would have to do with you having or not having gas. That's odd. Good Lord. Well, that stinks. I agree with you. That is terrible. Ay, 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 ay. Do you have a microwave, or do you have a crock pot or toaster oven, anything like that that you could use for the time being until you can get that fixed? Or even say like a hot plate? Oh, you need the gas for hot water. Oh, okay, my bad. I'm sorry. Um, yeah, see here in my building, the gas heats up the hot water. I've lived in other buildings where it was electric water heater. So I'm more used to electric here in the States. I mean, there is places that, yeah, gas, like here, but we don't pay for our heat, and we don't pay for the hot water. Oh, shoot. Okay, I understand. That's horrible. And there's no way around that. I mean, they can't. Oh my goodness. Well, like, do you have a lot of gas left, Rachel? I understand. I would be too. I would be too. So literally, you can't even like heat up pots of water to put in a tub and take a bath. Hi, Judy. How are you? Oh, you have deer bothering your garden. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Dogs peeing on your garden. No, 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 no. Are they your dogs or like neighborhood dogs, like neighbors or? I'm so sorry, Rachel. That's terrible. Do you have a friend's house that maybe you could go? Um, that maybe you could go over to and take a shower or something until you get that taken care of? Or a family member? That is terrible. That stinks. I've had to do that too, Judy, years ago. Uh, well, it was the summertime, and I didn't really need the gas on, but you couldn't take a hot shower. But it was very hot out, so I mean, we didn't really mind taking a cool shower. Hello, Geraldine. How are you? Oh. You know what, Rachel? I am so sorry. I totally forgot about it. I totally forgot about that, Rachel. It seems like because that all that is just so foreign to us that you'll think of a situation and be like, oh, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I understand. I hope you get that resolved soon. No, that's terrible. Hello, Goldie. How are you? I did have a really good day, Goldie. Yes, thank you. I was working on DIYs outside, two different ones at the same time. I was able to paint outside, so everything dried, which is good. So I could actually work on them tomorrow and maybe get one of those videos uploaded tomorrow night. I got some gardening done, yes. I'm not rushing it. I mean, I'm like about a third of the way done. I have to get more potting soil. I want to do some flowers and that. My main thing is tomato plants. Um, if we had gotten the stimulus money when everyone else was getting theirs, like the first batch, I was going to order some from a catalog called Burgess, and they ship a minimum of 8 tomato plants. Well, I could have 3, and I was going to give friends, the rest of them. But we didn't get anything like that yet, so we're still waiting. And my sis was up today from Jim Thorpe, and I asked her, if she could run a Walmart for me and grab me tomato plants. Because I called and they said that you could go into the garden department. Not anything outside, but you could go into the garden department. So the lines were so long, you would have had to wait like an hour, hour and a half. That's just crazy. And Lowe's was no better. Lowe's was no better. Hi, Amber. Oh, Judy, that sounds terrible. Oh, yeah, that sounds like a really, ooh, not good. One heck of a mess, huh? Ay, 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 ay. Yeah, so in reply to your comment, Goldie, I did have a pretty good day. I don't have tomato plants yet, though. I really don't know what to do about that. I don't even know if the auction that's open on Wednesday and it's only outdoors. I don't know if any of them farmers have tomato plants for sale. I have no way of knowing that or who to call to find out. Um, and I don't feel like I would want to wait 2 hours just to stand outside Walmart. See, this is what I don't understand. Okay. You can't just go into the garden department, get what you need to get, pay for it, and leave. That would make sense to me. Why would you make someone who's only heading into one department, they know exactly why they're there, what they're getting? Why make someone go into Walmart and then go all the way through to have to go back outside and wait in the line? That makes no sense. Why not have things outside from the garden department? And just basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, so people could, like, literally, like, just get what they need to get and get out and not even have to go into the other part of the store. That makes no sense to me. I don't understand the logic behind that. I would think if you only let in, say, 2 people at a time with masks and everything, go in, get what they need to get, check them out, let 2 more people go in. That way they're not going through, the main entrance of the store and having to go like around and then back out another door and wait outside. It's just stupid. I don't see any sense in that. You would then have to, I mean, like if they had it out just outside, you could avoid all that. And you could basically say, I'm here to get tomato plants. And just go in, get your plants, be rung up, boom, be gone, done. It seems that the way they're doing it is ridiculous. I don't see where that is like cutting down on anything or that, because you're, if you're just standing outside in the line, you're not being exposed to anybody inside that store. But making you, even with a mask, come into the store and have to follow whatever way they have it taped off to go back outside is just nuts. I don't understand the logic to that. Well, hi, Pat. How are you? Oh, that's Jinx Amber. Yeah, see, I'm trying to figure out what to do as far as tomato plants. Like I have to figure out what to do because I want to get like at least 3. I'm good with 3. If I could get 2 beefy and maybe a cherry, I'd be good. I'd be set. What do I think about places starting to open back up? Oh boy. I have said this from the very start when this was all, starting talking about opening up the economy. I had said, like, I'm in a hot spot. My city, if you go on the Newsbreak app, you can read all kind of articles about Hazleton, Pennsylvania. So if any of you guys who have the Newsbreak app, um, just like look up in the Newsbreak app about the virus and Hazleton, Pennsylvania. Bunch of different little articles about what's going on here in my town. Um, I have said from the start that a lot of these places, plants and that, are going to wind up shutting down sporadically because there wasn't enough testing. There is 2 testing centers here in town, plus there's one up in Wolfsburg, a drive-through testing. But the problem is a lot of the companies right off the bat were not taking any kind of precautions. So that, coupled with the way a lot of these jobs are, that like if you're not feeling well, you can't just stay home a day or 2, you could quote unquote lose your job. So people are coming to work sick, not knowing they were coming down with that. And I think it really, really spread a lot in my town because of that, coupled with um, a lot of people on the weekends would travel to New York and New Jersey. And that coupled with it all, and it really just it took off. If you are in a low count area and there is testing, I suppose gradually, like maybe little by little, just to see how the numbers are, would not be bad. I mean, see, here's the problem. To totally shut down the country, as much as everybody in a way from the start wanted it, you can't do that. You can't just like totally shut down the country and no one working, because there would be no jobs to go back to. There would be no, like, the economy would be gone, shut. And the world would really be in one hell of a mess. But by the same token, you cannot open it up too soon. That, like Missouri, I was just reading before I went live, Missouri is allowing concerts. I'm scratching my head thinking, how in the hell? Hi, Mama Lily. How in the hell do you open up for concert? What band is going to play like that? I mean, me and my sister, we were dead set on a road trip this summer to see Poison, Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Joan Jett. But even Vince Neil and Poison and them, they're posting things on Instagram and on Facebook and that saying, you know, odds are probably really good that these shows are going to be pushed back till maybe late summer, early fall of 2021. And I'm okay with that, because I would not feel comfortable going to something like that, knowing I'm a high risk person. And God forbid, neither would Techie, because she has a terrible immune system. So neither one of us would even remotely think of going for something like that without a vaccine or anything. Like, oh, hell no. And a lot of these bands and everything, they're older. They're in my age bracket or even a little bit older. They're very vulnerable too. None of these performers are going to go out. So I don't know what concerts are going to be playing in Missouri, but probably not going to be any of the bands that I've listened to, because nobody in my age group is going to be stupid enough to do that. And anybody that's been to a concert knows, yeah, people are really going to stay 6 feet apart. And what about the masks? Well, how are you going to wear a mask at a concert? It gets hot from people being in there. How are you going to take a drink? Keep lifting up your mask. They don't want you to touch your mask. It's impossible. You cannot do concerts. Movie theaters, maybe, and even then, I think that is a little ridiculous. Movie theaters, maybe, possibly, if they roped off like every other seat or something. You might be able to do that. But even so, is it really going to pay them to be open when they're only able to service like 50% of what they would normally get? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm doing good, Pat. I am doing good. Is it? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, Mama Lily, how are you, honey? Amber, when you say masks are mandatory, do you mean like, okay, say for example, like I have to wear a mask to go to Dollar General. Well, I don't have to wear it when I'm walking down the street, but I have to have it on before I enter the store. So are you saying literally you cannot like go out your own front door and even just like go for a walk without a mask? Because there I'm fortunate. I can go to a little park, I can go up to the cemetery, and I don't have to deal with that. I couldn't do that. I would have a very hard time breathing walking up a hill wearing a mask. I really would. I mean, when I get out of the store and I'm about 2 blocks away from the store, that mask comes off my face and I'm just breathing the air, zigzagging my way home. I don't really run into anybody on my way home. Walking down the street. Wow. Holy Hannah. Wow. Going into a park can get you jail time. Oh my goodness. I do agree with that, Pat. I do agree. I do think, yeah, I definitely think a majority of the US is it's too soon. I do. Oh my God, Amber, that sounds crazy. Well, then I'm fortunate here. I mean, like we don't have to do that because for starters, the few times I may see somebody a half a block away heading in my direction, they move on one side, I move over. So we pretty much like pass with more than 6 feet. We're probably talking about 18 feet between the two of us, which is good. Um, I mean, like, I will have a mask with me, but I don't actually put it on until I go into the store. And if I'm over here in this little park over here where I did a video 2 weeks ago, and there's no one there, I see why my logic would be, I'm here to enjoy the fresh air and just listen to birds and everything, and there's no one here. Why would I need to wear a mask? Now, if I hear somebody coming, I see someone coming, that's different. I would put one on. But if there's no one around and, you're pretty much in the woods, why, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm fortunate there. Because I would not be going out of my house though at all if we had to do that. Oh, well, you're very lucky there, Amber. You're very lucky because Hazelton is still considered a hot spot. There's over 2,100 cases in Luzerne County, which is a county we live in, and 54% of those cases are from my city. No, I agree with you, Amber. I do agree with you. Um, are you in like are you in like a city area, or are you more um, like like a small town, or are you in a city? No, I agree, Geraldine. I do think it is. I think them people protesting obviously have too much time on their hands. And I am sorry, but they obviously are, to me, that's being selfish. I can honestly say I think that is being selfish. If people had enough common sense in California when the beaches were open, okay, I could see a couple, husband and wife, that have been together, living together since the lockdowns and everything started, going to a beach, go walk your dog, but don't bother anyone. I could see, some jogger hitting the beach, don't bother anyone. If people went about it responsibly, it wouldn't have gotten as crazy as it did. But there's always people that have to ruin it for anyone else. I mean, how hard is it to, you know, move over if you're jogging in a park and you see someone coming around, and they're on the other side? It's not that hard to move over a little bit. You have more than 6 feet and just basically like ignore each other and go do your thing. But some people, I guess, feel that need to congregate, and I don't know why. Before I went live, I was in the Newsbreak app and I was reading a most recent article about my city. And there was a group of 4 people standing outside a local restaurant. They have been here for like 3 generations. And their hot dogs are just like classic. Like if you mention a Jimmy Dog, everybody knows what a Jimmy Dog is. And the person that did the article took a picture, and there was 4 Spanish ladies standing by a parking meter talking. And it's like, you cannot be doing that. That's the problem I run into sometimes when I go to my local Dollar General. I know what I'm going in to get. I just want to go in, grab what I need to get, check out, boom, leave. That is it. I took a major panic attack about 3 weeks ago because it seemed that everybody and their grandmother just wanted to stand and yak to people in the aisles. And I got sick and tired of walking around the perimeter of the store 3, 4 times just to try and get into an aisle. Finally, I just, like said, can you get the hell out of my way so I can get my shopping done and I can get the hell home? Like some people are just, they're stupid, and there is no cure for stupid. Oh, well, that's good, Amber. That's good. See, that's what I mean. Like I noticed the Spanish family over here, when the husband takes the trash can out to the street, he has a mask on. And it's like, okay, I'm sorry, but you don't need to have a mask on to wheel out your garbage cans. And like I think that's just being a little bit extreme. Now, my neighbor upstairs was talking to me yesterday. She had a mask on, and we were at least, I want to say 12, maybe 13 feet apart. And we were talking about, oh, thank you, honey. We were talking about when it rained for that day and a half, like 30 hours, the rug under our dryers and the rug by the washer is soaked. Way too heavy to actually like drag out of the basement and put outside to dry. And we didn't know what to do with them. And I said, well, if it was going to be warm, really warm for a few days, we could leave the basement doors open since we had the veranda and just have like windows open at night out on the veranda and let the air come in and try to dry them. But I mean, like we were pretty good distance, apart. Hello, Chrissy. How are you, dear? I know, right? I had Jimmy's last week. My son Bobby grabbed Jimmy Dog, so I had Jimmy's last week. But I don't know, Chrissy, if you have the Newsbreak app, but it's like, oh my God. Did you read that most recent article? And there's a picture of these 4 ladies that are standing up the street from Jimmy's, and it's like, you cannot do that. Like that stuff like that is the reason that we are still going to have a curfew. I don't mind wearing a mask into a store or gloves, okay? That does not bother me. If anything, I think is going to be annoying as it gets nicer out is an 8 o'clock curfew. Only because in the summertime, Ronnie and I used to like to go for walks sometimes at night. And the little cemetery up here, it's such a nice spot to sit. When the breeze comes through, oh my goodness, it's just so nice, so relaxing. And it's just like, I don't know really what the curfew is here anyway, is accomplishing per se, keeping people off the streets, because from what I see on Facebook, it's not working. And people are saying that the police are not really enforcing it. Well, you know what, Chrissy, my my sis was actually went to Walmart today, her and my son, my Ronnie, see if they could get me tomato plants. And like there was a line outside of Walmart for that, and there was a line outside of Lowe's, too long, and that was just crazy. Oh my God, Amber, everybody is like that. Like, I have sinus issues, so trust me, that's not very pleasant either. And after, like say an hour or so of wearing it, it's like, yeah, you're going in the wash. Yeah, four of them do. You're absolutely right, Chrissy. Four of them do. I did see that on Facebook. Well, see, here's the problem right now, Pat. I've said before, and Chrissy lives in Hazleton, so she can vouch for this, okay? There's a lot of racist people in town. There really is. There's a lot of racist people. And I'm not a racist person, but there is quite a few. And basically, like right off the bat, when that showed up here in town, even if it had been like white people that were getting sick with it, somehow, some way, some people still would have found a way to try and blame it on someone else. And so I see posts on Facebook every single day, and really it gets sickening. Yelling about three people in a car. Well, the rules in Hazleton say they will only stop a vehicle if there's four people in a car unrelated. But now you have to think about something for a moment. A lot of the plants are still open and people are still working. What are people who carpool supposed to do? Odds are good that there may be 3, 4 people in a vehicle who aren't related, but they all work together. I guess as long as you have paperwork from your job, you should be okay. But it's the idea that, like, there's people complaining about that. Oh, police aren't doing anything. And I interjected, well, maybe they're carpooling from work. I mean, like, you can't just assume they're dealing and cruising around Hazleton, because believe it or not, there are still people working. And then I see people complain. This is one people complain about all the time. Families in their yard with their kids. I don't know why that bothers some people. Or, several people in a family sitting on a porch, like in chairs, talking, laughing. And it's like, okay, they probably all live in the same house. Now, unless you're going to watch that house from 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night to be sure that, nobody drove in a car and came to that house. But odds are good those people probably live in that house or live right smack next door. It's probably family. What are they doing wrong if they're sitting on their own porch? Why that bothers some people, I just don't know. And the thing is, like social distancing. Okay, you have 8, 9 people living together in a house. How in the hell are you supposed to social distance? My apartment has no doors. Only my bathroom has a door. Ronnie and I have blackout curtains in our doorways. So seriously, essentially, how do you social distance in a small apartment? How do you social distance in a home when maybe, it's a husband and wife, their 2 kids, maybe one of the grandparents, maybe a cousin, nephew, whatever. Really, seriously, like the 3, 4 generations of folks, if they've all been there, from the start and nobody is sick, why do they even need to social distance? I don't understand where some of the mindset is here in town. And people put these posts up. Oh, I was so mad. I was driving up whatever street and I see, you know, I don't know, whatever house, people sitting on a porch, and there's like 5, 6 people sitting on a porch, but they probably live there. And why do you even care? They're on their porch. They're not standing on the sidewalk. They're not coming up to your car bothering you, and they're not out walking around. Why do you care? I just don't get it. I think so many people are about ready to just blow their stack. It's like I could walk by someone's house and I don't care, they're sitting there on their porch talking and laughing and whatever. More power to them. They're not bothering me. I'm not bothering them. They're not doing anything wrong. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand that. I think it's just like there's just so much tension right now. And it's, as I said, there's just a lot of racist people here in town. There really is. Hello, Deborah. Oh, you were planting potatoes. There you go. Exactly, Chrissy. Exactly. Yeah. A friend of mine was driving home from work and she said, like, she was on her way to Beaver Meadows. And she, I guess from her job, um, she drove by some house or something, and there's just like a few people sitting on the porch, and kids were in the yard. They were on a trampoline, and she's bitching because there's like 4 or 5 people on the porch. But it doesn't say that you cannot sit on your own porch. There's a curfew, yes. You can't be on the streets after 8 p.m. That don't say you can't sit on your porch all night or sit in your backyard. That doesn't say that, if you have 5, 6 people living in your home, that you all can't sit outside and be playing horseshoes and having a beer and whatever, cooking on a grill. If you're all living under that roof, you're not doing anything wrong. It's when you have people coming to your home that is the problem. So I guess, a lot of people just assume things, and they a lot of times don't realize they could be assuming wrong. And I just like find it to be like so stupid. Yeah, you're right, Geraldine. You are right. Yep, you are. Hello, Lori. Yes, Pat, some people do have to gripe about things. Exactly, Chrissy, exactly. Now, I won't go to Walmart. I will have major panic attacks just like dealing with all that craziness right now. But I mean, like, that is just the way it is. And these people that got to bitch and complain about everything, and it's like, well, none of us asked for this. Nobody in the damn world here in the US asked for this damn shit. Nobody in the UK asked for it. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants to be out of a job. Nobody wants to be losing their business. Nobody, God forbid, wants to be sick or worry about getting sick. So we're all affected by it. And it's like, you just need to like deal with, I mean, it's not nice, and certainly it's not always easy at times, but contrary to what you might hear on the news, this isn't going to just go away, I don't think. I mean, if by some stroke it would, hey, I'm wrong. But I kind of believe people from the CDC and that when they say that this could become a regular thing, look at H1N1. That is a regular thing now. This could actually mutate down to the point of where it's not as threatening, God forbid, and not as um, as deadly, which we could all hope for, you know, but it's not going to go anywhere. Like I said, if it does, that will be a miracle. That would be wonderful, but well, see, that's just the thing. I can't even like think about the future, to be honest, because you don't know what's going to change each day you wake up. So it's like I I mean, I got, yeah, things to do too, and I could care less who is on whose porch, you know? Um, but yeah, there's always the busybodies, exactly. Yes, yes, even in a crisis, yes. Okay, Pat, good night, honey. Thank you, Chrissy. When I called, they said that you could go into the garden indoors, but the line to get in the garden was so damn long that was just crazy. And Ronnie didn't want to wait for over an hour to get in, and Techie didn't want to wait, so it was like, yeah, okay. No, I don't allow anybody to my house, and I won't go to anyone's house. And it's just like most people understand that for the moment. And I'm actually even thinking at some point, even though my landlord wears a mask, that, maybe, he should actually consider just like putting, like rent in an envelope, seal it up, and say, hey, it's under the welcome mat or something, like. Yeah, that's what they're saying, Amber. That is what they are saying about that. Waiting to hear a few callbacks, actually. I don't know if you heard, Chrissy, but Dial was like closed down, I guess, for like I don't know if they still are, but they were because somebody was waiting on the results of a test. That's what I heard. Um, so I mean, like in a situation like that, you can't blame per se workers. Workers are afraid of losing their jobs, so they go to work not feeling good. And the plants from the start should have taken precautions, but were not prepared like they should have been for this. And it only you to drop that off. I thanked her. I seen her. My neighbor dropped off some. They look like corn chips. And I was like, ooh, cool. Okay. Um, yeah, Christy, he's waiting to hear in a few callbacks. But see, here's the problem. Like, really, seriously, it's not safe working right now. And he wanted to get back out there, but they closed down for a few days because somebody was sick and somebody had to get tested, and they're waiting to hear on the test. So, I mean, I will mention that to him, hon, most definitely. I will. Exactly. It's not the worker's fault. These jobs have gotten so ridiculous. Like, you're allowed one sick day a month. You see, the funny thing is, back in my mom's generation, workers would not tolerate that shit. Unions wouldn't have tolerated that shit. Workers wouldn't have tolerated that shit. But people just have more backbone, I think, back then. and they would have walked off a job and been like, screw you. What occurred in the past 30 years? I have no idea. I guess it happened in front of us, but we just weren't paying attention. That now these jobs, everybody is at the mercy of a damn job. And there was a time where, the employees had the upper hand pretty much.
No.
Not the jobs, but to say to someone that, you're only allowed one sick day a month and this and that. And it's like, oh, now they're telling people to stay home only because of this. But when these plants notice people getting sick and people having to get tested, they could have went to their corporate and been like, okay, we need to have these places cleaned. We need, masks for people. We need this, that, this. Don't wait until your plant shut down and you have over 100 people sick, like Cargill did here in town. Then decide to do something. Because all them people are sick, spread it to their family, their neighbors, other workers. So, I mean, it's not the workers' fault because people are afraid of losing their jobs. A lot of it is the fault of these companies because they didn't take any kind of damn precautions for their employees. Pretty bad when Amazon has to strike just to get the point across. I mean, that's like bad. That's sad. Exactly, Lori. But there's always got to be people, like I said, stupidity. There's no cure for that. And Dr. Fauci and Dr. Burke said on TV how many times that you're going to see that when they start reopening things. You are going to see that numbers are going to go up. Oh, he's doing good. He's doing good. He went for a long walk today, actually twice. Plus, he ran down the store for me and got me more fencing and that. So, yeah, he needed to just get out of the house and clear his head. It's just like crazy for him. Oh, really? Really? Chrissy, do you have to have any sort of like Act 21 training or anything for that by any chance? Like do you need any kind of like training for that per se? Hey, Ronnie. Ooh, come here. Would you be interested in a job that paid $23 an hour? Security guard. Literally just like walking around. Well, he wouldn't have to interact with like any of the shoppers or that though, right? No, he doesn't have any kind of record, Chrissy. No. Yeah, that's way more than he was making that dial, trust me. So how would he apply for that? Oh, okay, okay. I got you. So, okay, I got you. Oh, okay. So in other words, I mean, though, like he's protected. He got a mask, he got gloves. Okay, I got you. I got you. Is that day shift? All right, Deborah. Yeah, definitely finish your planting, honey. Although planting at night is actually good. Um, I used to plant my moonflowers at night and my morning glories. Yeah, I understand that, Lori, but that right to work shit has ruined the country. Because his only issue would be if he would have to work in the evening because we don't have a car. He doesn't drive. But like if it was day shift, that wouldn't be an issue. That has been like, I think, to the detriment of this country. Because I know damn well, like my mom and my aunts and my uncles and that, they would never tolerate that shit. Oh, you're only allowed one sick day a month. They've been like, screw you. Like this thing's all changed. Well, see, it all goes back to government. Government has gotten too big. Government had definitely gotten too big. They are too involved in people's lives. I gotcha. I gotcha. Well, see, even okay, like the 8 wouldn't be so bad. Um, now, but see, there's not a bus running. I will definitely get back to you on that, though, honey. Thank you for telling me about that. We'll get back to you on that, sweetie. Thank you. Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's cool. Well, hello there, Mr. Oreo. I have another video from today, when I was planting today, that I'm going to upload tonight. The very last clip, I had to chase after him, grab him by a scruff, but I had to put him down because my left hand is weaker than my right. So I had to pick him back up with my right hand and then like let go of his scruff and quick like zoom grab him like this to carry him in my kitchen. And I was like, oh my God, you spoiled brat of a cat. Okay, honey, yes, I will. I will. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, Lori, government has just gotten too darn big. Way too big.
How would I go about even doing that?
Um,
Like, would I have to have some kind of like certification or?
nope, nope. The only thing is you can't have any felonies.
Well, I don't have any, so
They give you the uniform, they train you. You would be basically motioning people to come in and motioning people to leave Walmart because they only allow so many people in at a time, and they have security at the doors. You would have a mask.
Is that for around here?
Yeah, you would have a mask. You would have gloves. You'd be protected.
Who told you all that?
Chrissy, she is local. She's here in Hazleton. She said she could get you in. Usually it's either 6 to 2 or 2 to 8 p.m.
I wouldn't have trouble getting back home in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, no, I was thinking about the evening.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't have trouble getting back home.
Oh my God, Amber. Yes, yes, he did have it planned. He knew I've been in and out with seed packets and, you know, the soil and the fencing. Oh, yeah. Oreo is smart. He was so
What,
bad.
He ran out? He ran out?
On the veranda, and I had to grab him and like literally like grab him by the scruff, but then like kind of like stick him in my arm. You could see his feet sticking up in the video. I was trying to hold him like this to get him in the door. Last night, Ronnie was sleeping. I was watching I was watching this series on Amazon. It is, of all things, but it caught my eye. Ted Bundy's girlfriend, the one that he had lived with, her and her daughter, and it's actually a really good series. I watched it as far as the 4th episode when she started making connections and realizing there was too many coincidences and things, and said like, oh my God, my boyfriend is murdering women. Like, what a horrible realization. But I was watching
Murdering them,
twice.
but he never ever sexually violated them.
Twice I heard a smash in the kitchen. Oreo was literally knocking the food canisters off the top of the fridge and eating food off the floor. I'm like, oh my God. I chased him around the house. How he didn't wake up.
Tell him what I woke up to this morning.
And Ronnie woke up this morning to the same thing. He had knocked it off and it was laying on the floor and food on the floor. And it's like, he didn't even do this when I first put him on the diet. So what his issue is, I don't know. Yes, Mama Lily, he could be bad. Oh, I gave him a good smack in the butt last night. I don't like, hitting an animal, but it was like, you were just being terrible. And I chased him around and gave him a whoop in the ass. Like, that's it. Knock it off. And it's like, you little brat. Well, we actually started putting him in a crate timeout when he is, well, here's the thing. I think, Lori, as far as sick days, this is going to be an issue possibly for a good year or two. They're going to have to just get used to the fact that you cannot get rid of an employee because they're sick. Least of all with something like this. You want a person to be home, but they also are entitled to have their job to come back to. So in that sense, some things may change for better in a way, to actually benefit employees. I hate to say it because of all this tragedy. Yes, exactly. I almost fell over though today. Like I said, I was reading the news before I came live. Missouri opening up about concerts. I'm like still trying to wrap my head around that because I'm telling you, not any band that I grew up listening to, they're older and they are not playing Missouri. Nope. So I don't know what bands are going to come to Missouri, but not going to be anybody that I would pay to see. I could tell you that. Nope. Now, I do think, this might sound silly, but hear me out for a moment. I do think if there's drive-ins in your area, I think they should be open. Because there could be the plexiglass put up that, with like enough opening that you could get popcorn, get your food, whatever. Otherwise, the workers are protected. You'd be in your own car. You could watch a movie, 2, 3, but the rule maybe would be that, people cannot like intermingle with other people in other cars. Meaning if a car parked here, have a car parked over here, a car parked over here. That family stays away from this family, this family. Drive-ins. I mean, I don't see why drive-ins couldn't be open. You know what? There is one I did go to a few times. It's not in my area though. It's a little bit of a drive. It's called Becky's Drive-In. I would think that a drive-in would be safer in the sense that you're in your own vehicle. And yes, you could go by yourself. You could have your kids with you, as long as you don't bother a family in a car over or something. Why couldn't drive-ins, open up? That would be perfect. And like I said, as far as like getting what you want, there's ways around that. I mean, like they could either, basically have like a touch call thing. You order your food when you first go in, pay to go into the drive-in, and maybe like they could have somebody bring the food to each car, take a number, and put it inside the windshield. And then maybe like over an intercom or something, like they'll call you, like car number 10 or something, your order is ready. And somebody would bring it over, could leave it outside your vehicle, and you could pick it up. There's ways around things. Now, I know a lot of people are bitching about hairdressers. And I even sat and thought to myself, how in the hell could you go to a hairdresser? There's no way they can social distance. They can't cut your hair 6 feet away from you. There's just no way around that. And I was thinking, well, what if they wear gloves? And what if hairdressers were to wear them plastic, the plastic masks? Instead of just a regular face mask, what if hairdressers were to wear those plastic ones? Would that make going to a hairdresser safer? Yeah, exactly. You could still, you could go, you're bored, hop in a car, go see a few movies. And like it would be fun for kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they need to go to bathroom, okay, different situation. No, like maybe they could have someone pretty much monitor the bathrooms, one person at a time. Like if Becky's driving, it's one person at a time. And then maybe an attendant that could quick go in and spray everything down for the next person to use. There's little ways around things, Edward Scissorhands, yeah, exactly, right? But like I was thinking, okay, what if, they what if they wore those the plastic ones, those big plastic ones that you see like some nurses and doctors wear? What if a hairdresser was to wear them with gloves? Would that I wonder, would it make it safer for them and for the person getting their haircut? Oh my God, do you remember that movie, Geraldine? John Travolta was the boy in the bubble. Yes, the Shields. I couldn't think of what in the hell they were called, Lori. Oh yeah, you're right, the Shields. Essentially, they could cut your hair wearing one of them. Maybe they could skip shampoos and just wet people's hair and cut their hair that way to cut down on the time and contact. But why couldn't they do that? The person getting their hair cut has a face mask on. I don't see why they couldn't do that. Now, someone brought up a really good point to me. They're saying about tanning stations not being open. For the most part, I mean, like, you're in a tanning booth yourself. And, well, not as big as that, but just the ones that doctors and that I see some of them wear. Come to, like, about here. I know what you're talking about, though, Lord. But, like, in a tanning booth, people have appointments. So they wipe them beds down anyway in between customers. Why couldn't they reopen tanning booths? They have to, legally by law, wipe those beds down anyway. So they're not doing anything that they're not already doing. Most of the tanning booths, the people, because some of the places got robbed, a lot of them were behind plastic anyway when you went to pay. So really, I didn't understand why a tanning booth couldn't be open. There's ways around that. And nail salons, some of the nail salons here, that some of them do have actually the plastic up. So it's only your hand through an opening. And they're on the other side. They're where, I mean, if you really think about it, things like that could be done with very minimal contact. Yeah, that's what I mean, Lori. I mean, like, if they were to wear those kind of face things, skip the shampoos. Because if everybody getting their hair cut or that has to wear a face mask, the masks are going to get soaked trying to give everybody shampoo. So skip the shampoos. You could do a wet cut. Maybe it'll take a few minutes longer, spray someone's hair wet, but you could skip the shampoos. But if they were to wear them and gloves and a person has a mask on, why can't you get your hair cut then? And spray down, I mean, because again, hairdressers, after each person, they have to wipe equipment down anyway. They're not doing anything that they normally wouldn't be doing. Same with a tanning salon. Same with the nail salon, you know? So it's like they're not going to be doing something that they are not already used to doing. So why can't these places be open? Limiting, I mean, maybe the amount of people in, yes. I could see like, okay, you have 6 workers from here to here doing nails. Well, instead of having 6 people, maybe only let in 3 at a time. They're not going to be making the money that they used to, but at least they're making some money, better than no money. But I think, I mean, like if you look at things like that, you really sort of could do it. I mean, I'm not saying, I mean, because sooner or later, you know, a lot of guys do not want to go back to work looking like total scruff buckets, like their hair and everything. I mean, and I get that. And a lot of men are frustrated that, you know, like they don't want to go back to work looking like a hippie. So why couldn't a barber wear one of them and a pair of gloves and friggin' wet your hair down quick and friggin' cut your hair? Like, I don't understand it. They have to, you know, wipe everything down anyway after in between clients. So, well, I would think, honestly, and this is going to sound weird, I would feel more comfortable getting my hair trimmed right now with someone wearing gloves with one of them long face things on behind me trimming my hair than roaming around the store trying to find my way into aisles and try to get around groups of people and things. Like, I would feel safer doing that. Be there for like 15, 20 minutes, get my hair trimmed, boom, done, see you, goodbye. As compared to being stuck walking around a perimeter of a store for 20 minutes because people are just congregating and you have to yell at them to get out of your way. I honestly, I think in a way would feel safer doing that than going to a store. And that probably sounds crazy, but I would, because I panic. I cannot be in stores too long. I just, no. And it's like a lot of the people out there just, just like really, it's a crazy. Yes, exactly, Lori. Right, right. And they do laundry in that there. They have to wash their towels and everything. So it's a little more laundry. Oh, well. Exactly. I mean, if you really sit and think about it, like there is ways around it. So in Pennsylvania, um, a lot of people are blasting the governor, like, why can't the hairdressers reopen? Why can't a nail salon reopen? You look like you get your hair cut. Somebody's cutting your hair. Your hair don't look scruffy. Your beard looks trimmed. So what? Nobody else could get a haircut, but you can, Mr. Wolf? That kind of thing. And so, they're like, yeah, this is a crock of bull. I mean, I could see like not doing, shampoos. I could see like not doing coloring because that takes hours, certain things like that. But just maybe open for basic haircuts. Hello, Lay and J Studios. Hi. I mean, most people, what's the average haircut take? 15 minutes tops. They've got us, clean all their equipment in that anyway. So it's like, why, why couldn't they? Even if, they only took in, say, depending on the size of the salon, say maybe 2, 3 people at a time. But it could be done, but it would have to be done responsibly. But like our governor doesn't want to hear that. And the reason here in Pennsylvania, a lot of people are bitching is because they originally wanted the borders closed to New York and New Jersey, but they claim that the governors of each state do not have the legal authority to close their borders. That is something that can only come from the President of the United States. And that did not happen. No borders were closed, except for other countries, but not within like the US. So counties and different states had to take that all upon themselves. That's another problem. If there had been more of a response and a prepared response from the federal government in general, I don't think this would be as bad for everyone because there was time to prepare. And if the government was literally like saying, well, here's how we're going to do this, 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 and it, and this is what we need each state to do, blah, 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 blah. Every state is winging it, doing their own thing because there's no plan, no continuity. Secondhand stores, no. Why would they become a thing of the past, honey? No, no, no. If anything, I think after this, it would be a booming time for them. I would honestly think. Hold on, guys. Let me run over and grab a wash rag. I spilled a little bit of my coffee on my table here. I will be right back. Oh. Ronnie, you left your coffee here, hon. No, Geraldine. I think secondhand stores will open up when more stores are allowed to, depending on the states and that. And I think, if anything, it will be a booming time for them because think about it. For folks that aren't working in that, they're going to be looking for ways to save money. So I think that, this particular situation could actually work to a lot of secondhand stores benefit, like Salvation Army, um, even like private, little secondhand stores, Volunteers of America, um, Oh, what was the other one? Goodwill industry. I think no, business might actually pick up for them. So exactly, Lori. Yes, exactly. I mean, I feel bad for a lot of these folks that are self-employed in that, and they can't collect. And although a lot of people on unemployment still haven't gotten a dime, Ronnie is one of them. He hasn't gotten a penny. Um, I mean, if they were able to get that kind of gear and everything, then I don't see why maybe they couldn't be open, for say maybe 3 hours a day or something, and be able to earn, like I said, some money is better than no money. And even if they could seat 6 and could only legally have 3 clients in a little shop at a time, that's still money they're earning that is more than what they had before. I miss going into the thrift stores too, Amber, believe me. I do. I used to like to go poking around clothes and that. Well, for a little bit, I heard that Dollar Tree here in my area was basically like closed for a few days. I don't know. I didn't hear anything about like anyone being sick or anything, but I think that maybe like they really had to tell employees they have to wear masks. I guess nobody wanted to. And it's crazy, but it's going to be a new norm. Well, I can't even say a new normal. Let's just say a new way of living is how I see that. A new way of living. Crazy, crazy. I had always figured one of two things would happen in my later years in life. Either some little country would try to start a war with us, or some real big asteroid was going to be causing issues. So no, I did not see this coming at all. However, oddly enough, I watched a show the other day. It was from back in 2005. Um, Anyone remember the avian flu, the bird flu, H5N1? Not to be confused with H1N1, but H5N1. It was really, really bad um, over in like Thailand and that. Okay, well, I watched this documentary a few days ago about it, and they were asking these people back in 2005, when did they think the next pandemic would be? And people in the UK and that said that it was probably just right around the corner. And they were even saying back then that someday the world could see a virus that, now listen to the irony of this, that would jump from animal to human and then mutate from human to human. What does that sound like? Because this virus has mutated. There is different forms of it, different strains of it. They tested people in, I think, South Africa that had like a weaker strain of it as compared to, say, maybe like people in New York. So there's different strains. And what causes it to mutate differently, God only knows. God only knows. But the point is, there's several different strains. They were talking about this back in 2005. It's 2020. It's just crazy. Yeah, exactly, Chrissy, exactly. That, like, over in Australia, back in 2005, they had stocked up on a lot of Tamiflu in the event that that bird flu got like really, really bad. And the only thing that they said that I thought was absolutely terrible was the government was going to decide how the Tamiflu was dispersed. In other words, the Tamiflu they stockpiled was for all the government first before the average person. And I thought, wait a minute, that's just a total crock of shit. Because if your constituents all die, it don't matter who's in the government. There's nobody to govern. And I thought, well, that is really shitty. And when I heard that, I thought, okay, screw you, Australia. I take it back. I like koala bears, and I love little joeys and that. I love kangaroos, but your government sucks. Your government sucks too. Yeah, I mean, me too. And friends of mine are having grandbabies and this and that, and they're saying, I wonder when I'm going to be able to ever go, see my grandchild. Like, well, I don't know if anybody has been watching, but over in the UK, there's children getting sick apparently with this crap, and it's triggering Kawasaki syndrome in children. Now, here in the US, our government is like in a hurry to get kids back to school. How are you going to social distance little elementary kids who don't understand, are not by nature used to that? How do you keep drilling it into a little kid's head, you know, that they can't like hug their friend or hold someone's hand or this or that? Like, how do you get little kids to social distance? Especially if you have 30 kids in a classroom. High school kids, I mean, it probably would be a lot easier because there's a lot of antisocial kids out there that would just like, leave me the hell alone. I won't bother you. Don't bother me kind of deal. But I mean, like with little children, though, that is really, really hard to do. But I'm just curious if our government is keeping any tabs on that, because God forbid if that starts happening here in the US to small children, well, then the government isn't going to have to worry and be like, oh, schools should be open, schools should be open. No, so you better hope and pray that there's children to go to school. So honestly, I think what's working against us, and I'm just putting a blanket label on it, our government, with the way this was all handled, has worked against the US. Other countries handled things like South Korea, handled things like so much better, so much quicker, and so much more thorough. And, maybe it sounds terrible to like say that, but it's true. I mean, because look at the nuttiness that's going on, and every different state is doing things their own way because our government, can't get its stick out of its ass to handle things like the right way. And then bitch when things are going on in the states and one state might have to re-shut down and this and that. It's like, listen, if yous had been more on the ball and more prepared, states wouldn't be doing their own thing. You told them to. You didn't want the responsibility. Now, don't try to come into the picture and be like, oh, well, we don't like you're doing this and we don't like you doing that and this and that. And it's like, well, too late. You were supposed to handle this from the start. You're incapable of it. And Wisconsin is another state I can't figure out. How many people have gotten sick that went and physically voted And now they're still going to require people to go out and vote again for the presidential election. What is wrong with these idiots? I swear to God, there's idiots. These people have to be idiots that are in positions of power there in Wisconsin. Wisconsin and Missouri. They've got to be idiots because none of that shit makes any damn logic to me. Exactly, Chrissy, exactly. Exactly, Lori. And if anybody is watching this and, but our government, like, oh, kids should be back in school. Kids handle this real well. Not over in the UK, they're not, from what I've been reading and seeing. No, a lot of children are getting sick over there. God forbid if that starts happening here in the US. I'm hoping to God it doesn't. Exactly. I filled out about a month ago for a to be able to vote by mail ballot here in Pennsylvania for election in June and for the election in November. I should actually be getting that form for June like any day now. It's nuts, Geraldine. Would you honestly go risk your health to go vote? Like, and why should the government expect people to risk their health? That is what I cannot wrap my mind around. Where in the hell is their logic? Like, who the hell are these people that, God forbid, you can't have a mail-in ballot? And everybody should just chance getting sick? Why? Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Hello, Eric. How are you, dear? Geraldine, they're all over. They're all over. There's plenty of people here in town and in just PA. Every state has them. Oh, this is a hoax. I said, okay, if it's a hoax, then what happened? Are you saying that, God forbid, these people that died didn't die? Or where are they then? Are they on a deserted island somewhere with their family? Oh, people are being paid to say this, that. Who's paying them? Where's the money coming from? Who's paying them? Who's benefiting with that? I mean, and every time one of these people start at me with this, I start backtracking what they say. Oh, it's just a cold. Okay, how many colds have you had in your lifetime? Off the top of your head. Okay, did you have trouble breathing when you had a cold? And I just start backtracking things with them. It confuses these people. They'll leave you alone. They won't argue with you. Thank you, Eric. Actually, it is 15 now. Oh, it dropped down. See, I shouldn't have said anything. It dropped. It dropped down to 14. It was 15. Exactly. I've had bad colds, but now it's back up to 15. I've had bad colds, but none that ever, like, did that, kind of damage. Good night, Eric. Take care. Pet your kitty cats for me. I just don't understand the logic behind Missouri. Well, I almost fell over when Georgia, what they decided, like, are you insane? Why would you reopen? I can't, I just can't, I can't wrap my head around it. I cannot wrap my mind around that. Well, you know what, Lori, you're going to have people that do believe that. And they are probably the same kind of people that believe in the flat earth and everything else. So what are you going to do? Good night, Eric. Take care. It's just crazy. Now, what burned my butt when Mike Pence was at the Mayo Clinic and did not wear a mask and had the nerve to tell them there, oh, I get tested every week for the virus. There's people out here that medical professionals, very sick, needed one test, just one, and died and couldn't even get a test. Your asses in the government get tested every week. Wow, just wow. That blew my mind. Excuse me a sec, guys. I'm going to put the light on back here. Out there on my veranda. That blew my mind when he made that remark that he gets tested every week. Great. There's people in the country working who should have them. And yet you idiots get tested every week. Why? Maybe if you were wearing masks and everything from the start, you wouldn't have to worry about getting tested every week. And let some of them tests go to nurses and doctors and EMTs that are, in the hospitals and everything, taking care of people every day. That's who should get tested every week, not you idiots. Yeah, that got my goat really good. I was thinking they should have turned around and said to him, well, Mr. Vice President, you have to leave. You're violating our rules, and this is what we request, for you to do. And if you don't want to do them, then you can turn around and leave. But no, everybody has become so damn soft. Everybody is so afraid of offending another person's feelings anymore. It's like the days of, being able to speak your mind, I guess, are almost over or something. I don't know, because nobody wants to upset the vice president. Who cares? He's a man. He's not God. He's not anyone special. Every one of them, they are all human. They all bleed the same blood as the rest of us. Why, would you be like, okay, well, we can't yell at him. He's the vice president. No, you can, and you should. You should make sure you yell at him, because if he doesn't set an example, who the hell is going to? You just let him make idiots out of you guys there at that clinic, because you couldn't enforce your own rules because you don't want to hurt his feelings. Who the hell cares about his feelings? Nobody in government gives a shit about my feelings, about your feelings. Why in the hell are people supposed to care about their feelings? Exactly, Chris, exactly. And for all of them in office to say oh, he gets tested every week. Why? Why can't nurses get tested? Why can't doctors get tested? Why can't EMTs not get tested? Why can't police get tested? It's like, really? Well, maybe some of them tests should be going to people who I think are a little more important than the rest of you clowns. Oh yeah, that got under my skin real good for hours. Every time I happen to see that come up in my news, I'm like, you son of a bitch. Oh, and then we can't forget that, the president says, oh, I'm not wearing one. I don't wear them. Okay. So you're going to start traveling again. Say you go somewhere and there's getting sick and they're coughing and everything. Well, you just got exposed to it. Exactly, exactly. You know what, Lori? I am so glad you brought that up. I had a good conversation with my son Bobby about all this. Um, this almost ties in a little bit with what I was seeing down in Florida. They're considering that everybody would have to be mandatory vaccinated. First off, my son said that, it's good when there's enough testing out there for people. And I'm sure he said, a lot of people would want to know if they had ever been exposed to it or, this or that. So he said, that's good. But he goes, there's a problem, he said, if they try to make it mandatory. And I said, why? Why couldn't a job do that? I said, wouldn't that give employees more peace of mind, knowing that everybody was tested and everybody was negative that you're working with? He said, gray area, privacy, violating people's rights. He said it's a very gray area. Now, I personally think, this is just me, I think everyone should be tested or encouraged to be tested. I think because the sooner you get realistic numbers and the sooner you know how many people really do have antibodies, I think this crap has been here months before November. I'm sorry, I heard of people getting sick with some weird funky stuff as far back as August and September. So I am going to say maybe the end of the summer even. So, my way of thinking is everybody should be tested to know the scope of it. Now, I don't agree with these things called certificates of immunity because, number one, there's no proof that anyone that has had it is going to be immune. So those papers will be worthless. And number two, it would segregate the population in half. Whereas people that have health conditions and this and that are basically going to be like prisoners in their own home while the rest of society would be able to live, work, play, and do whatever. So, I mean, I don't think those kind of things would be good either, because then, if until there's a vaccine, a lot of people would, quote unquote, be prisoners in their own home, which again is kind of unfair. And, it would separate society into two groups, ones who have immunity and ones who have to stay home until they get a vaccine. And I mean, here's different scenarios to consider too. What if they need to come up with a new vaccine every year? No vaccine is going to be a one-size-fits-all Band-Aid for this. Look at the flu shot. They try to make a vaccine that's going to cover the 3 most prevalent strains for that particular season that they're seeing. This could mutate, more. And I mean, what would they basically do? Go by data through CDC and see what strains of this virus seem to be cropping up at this particular season and tweak the vaccine to cover them? I mean, that I could foresee happening down the road. Well, exactly, Lori, exactly. If you have to be drug tested for a job, why couldn't it be made that if you want to come back to work, this and that, for your own peace of mind, as well as everybody else that's going to be working with you, get tested. I don't see what the big deal is, but my son Bobby said it's not in the black and white of it, it's not a big deal. But people and rights and that gray area, he said, that would be a hard thing for any job, he said, to try to afford. Now, a job may be able to do it, but a state to actually say that, people are going to be mandated to get a vaccine, he said that might be harder to do, but not impossible. Not impossible, because times are changing. And if you don't want sick people taking up your hospitals and people dying, then again, in a way, it would be smarter. But you have the anti-vax people. Well, then, my son was like, what are you going to do with them? I said, tell them to get the hell out of the state. If they don't want to, go find a state that doesn't care if you have a vaccine. But if the state you're living in does, and you don't want to get yourself and your kids a vaccine, well, then you're not living here. You're not working here. You and your family are going to have to leave the state. Goodbye. In the world of bugs and viruses and bacteria and shit like that, anti-vaxxers, I'm sorry, do not have a goddamn place in it anymore. They don't. And I apologize for cussing, but they don't.
Well, my bangs are getting long. Holy hell.
To me, in my opinion, anti-vaxxers do not have a place in the world, seriously, because there is going to be other bugs, other things coming along. And if they are really stupid enough that they want to take that chance and put their kids through that, they all need to go on their own little deserted island. You could exercise that right, but you need to exercise that right away from other people with children and people who have health conditions and that. So in this crazy kind of world now, I'm sorry, but the anti-vax population, they are going to be shoved out and basically trampled over in this kind of world when you're dealing with viruses and things like that, because it's one thing to protest vaccinations for kids in school. This is something totally different. Their amount of them is minuscule, and they are not going to be able to stand up against a government or even their state government and, be like, no, I refuse to do this. Well, if you want to live here and work here and own a home here, you're going to do it, or we will take you to the city limits and you can find a different state. Because if it gets to that point where states have to do that because they don't want people spreading this stuff, they're going to have to suck it up, or obviously go to, I don't know, the Amazon, or go to, I don't know, Bora Bora, or get dropped off on some island where no humans are. How about that? You won't have to worry about any kind of bugs. You won't have to worry about vaccinations then either. But their logic is going to get trampled over in a world, the way the world is now. And with this, is so much more serious than arguing about vaccinations for kids. This is something that could potentially, save people's lives. And without it, a lot of people could die. And if you're going to argue that point and be such stubborn jackasses and jeopardize your kids' safety, then some of these people may well, if a lot of states start doing that, find themselves looking for a place to call home. Because if one state does it and actually is able to do it, there's going to be other states follow. Someone always has to be the first one to take the plunge. Because no state wants to keep on dealing with this year in, year in, out, year in, year out. And I mean, in a way, you can't blame them, like if there is a vaccine that they want everybody to have it, why would you want part of your population to not have it? Okay, you may be intruding on their right. They think, okay, you're intruding on our rights to not get it. But your health could be intruding on everyone else's right to stay healthy by you not having it. And sorry, the greater good is much more important than the small 20, 30 handful of you guys. Yeah, I do believe that, Chrissy, that was around back sooner. I mean, I do wonder at times, okay? Back in July into August, I was very sick. I didn't have a respiratory thing, but I did have a god awful stomach stuff for 11 days. Intense, terrible diarrhea for 11 days. I felt like I was dying. I didn't have respiratory issues, but everything passed through me. And I had like no appetite. I had a slight temperature, not bad. I think the highest my temperature was like, I think 99.8. I never got over 100. But it is not normal to have diarrhea for 11 days. And my doctor was just like, oh, it's some kind of bug. Yeah, obviously. Could you be a little more specific, lady? Like, oh my God. So I do wonder. I know some of the people that have had it say that, they have a lot of stomach issues with it. Some people, it is more respiratory. Some people have a lot of stomach issues with it. So, yeah, yes, I see you, Christy. 11 days, diarrhea was just not normal. And if I was smart, I should have, in hindsight, went to the hospital. Because when I did finally start getting over it, they tested me for E. coli and salmonella and a couple of other things for different, like, most popular, like, bacteria and stuff. And everything came back negative. And I said, well, I had something. I said, I felt like I was dying. I said, I didn't have, thank God, the respiratory, but literally I felt like eventually that my intestines were going to come out of me. I was terrified to go to sleep at night because I was afraid I'd wake up in a pool of blood, that my intestines and everything would just like literally like come out of me. I do hauls, Geraldine. They're not necessarily big ones, like when I do like order groceries online or that. I will still do them. I still do the food pantry. Yes, and even if I'm waiting on money, basically, is my problem. I have craft supplies I need to get. I could do a lot of stuff online. I'm just waiting on Uncle Sam that, has not put anything in our bank accounts yet. So, I mean, like whether, I physically go to a store or whether I order a bunch of things off Amazon or Dollar Tree, a haul is still a haul. And I'm really itching to do them. I have some things coming in from Boba. I have things coming here from Wish. One, everything is just taking its good natured time because of the mail. And two, unfortunately, right now, it's an issue of money. That I, would love to go on and order a bunch of craft stuff and things like that. But I just don't have the money, honey. So yeah, when I get some cash flow in, hopefully very soon, I will be doing probably like a few more small Amazon hauls. For some weird reason, Dollar Tree, now it's not statewide, I don't think, but when I did go to order a few things online, it said that, now again, this could be just within my state, that they were not handling online orders so that the stores would have enough merchandise. And I thought to myself, well, now that is damn stupid. Because in a situation like this, you don't want a lot of people going to your store. You want more people ordering at home. So that was ass backwards. I scratched my head on that one. It's like, oh my God. I didn't understand that. Now, I don't think that's around the country. I think that's just a Pennsylvania thing. So, but I found out that I can actually order my groceries from Giant. So I can divvy up a grocery order from Giant and Aldi's, and I could actually do like a grocery haul like that. Um, it'll just be more mail order. Like I said, I am waiting on Wish things. I have a mask order coming from Boba. I actually am going to be doing a mask haul. They're actually, some of them are cute. Never thought I'd do a haul about them. But yeah, I'm just waiting on some things to come in the mail, you know. It's crazy. Now, like, also too, if I go, say like I'm doing like a stock up kind of trip, say with Dollar General, I would do a haul on that. Like if I go and stock up on whatever cleaning supplies, toilet paper, things like, I would do a haul like that. But like, lately I've just been going in for like two, 3 things here, 2, 3 things there, and not really anything that you would want to do a video on. So yeah, I will be, again, it's all basically, I'm waiting on money. Ronnie is waiting on money. And I know there's a lot of people here in PA who didn't get their stimulus yet, but I also know a lot of folks who did. And, we're scratching our heads like, okay, what gives? Because every time someone tells me something, I never get it. Oh, you'll get it when you get your check. Nope, didn't happen. Oh, they'll post before you get your check. Nope, didn't happen. Everybody should get them by the 4th. Okay, tomorrow's the 4th. Don't know if it's going to happen. And then someone else was saying, oh, they'll all be, put in by the 9th. Why does it keep getting extended and extended and extended? Like, hello, No, we have an Aldi. Oh, Lori, you don't have an Aldi's. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, finally, Lori, I had found out. One of my friends told me, you can pay. Giant is the only one doing this. You can actually pay for your food stamp, you order with food stamps, and just pay for the delivery service with your debit card. That is the only store online in my area that is taking food stamps is Giant. So, yeah, I mean, I like Aldi's and I like Instacart. I have had no issues. I know Eric works with Instacart and that. I'll tell you what, I have not had any problems with Instacart orders, with any drivers. I've I really enjoyed that service. So, um, yeah, Chrissy. One of my friends actually told me that she had found out about it about a week and a half ago. Um, her and her sister, I think, actually were um, looking for some things. There was a death in their family, and they were just going to have a very small family-only gathering after a funeral service or church service. And they were looking at cold cuts or something online, and that's when they found out that whatchamacallit, that you can use food stamps and then pay for the delivery. I seen that too, Geraldine, and I always comment, yeah, right. Well, first off, let's get the rest of us our first round of checks. Then y'all can take it up in the Senate and everything else about the second round. I want to get my first one. I'm not greedy. Well, I think they also realized too, Lori, a lot of people would have been like, screw you, you couldn't help me out in a pinch. You're not getting my damn vote. Chrissy, Instacart is a delivery service that some of the supermarkets and that have online. Aldi's uses it. I think Giant and Walmart use it too. And this is people's job. They will go shopping for you, get your order. They let you know if they need to make substitutions. Well, you plan all that out when you place your order online. And they will deliver it to your door. Well, a lot of them do now. They will put it like inside your main door, leave it on your porch. They will, call you and say, hey, I'm going to be there in 2 minutes. So a person could go in their house. They'll put the groceries on your steps. You could go in and get them. It's convenient. It's very, very convenient. I've never had an issue with it. I have not had any problems with it. So for anybody who has never used it, I could honestly say I've never had any problems with it. I think it's a really, really good service, and I've always encountered pleasant people. Everything is okay, everything is correct, and like I always tip them like $5 because they're out there, doing, shopping for people and that too. They got to be in the stores so that, those of us who have to or want to stay home have that convenience. They're the ones out there doing it, so. Yeah, and if your order is over $35, Chrissy, I think the delivery fee then is only like $3.99, I think. You know what, Geraldine? That's a good point. And that's another thing that my son Bobby and I talked about. I had said to him, the economy would totally collapse if, like the whole US had shut down the way that, say, for example, Italy had locked down. And this and that. And my son was like, yeah, but the government can't afford to support everybody. And I said, really? I go, well, then why did I read something about a week ago that said basic universal basic income or something, guaranteed income being considered during pandemic? In other words, that everyone, no matter what their income, would get a set amount of money every month from the government. I had thought that if this country, I know would suffer, but my thought was if the country had stayed closed longer, then when it was ready to start opening up, like the country as a whole could have been like one level. And then, moved on to a second. As it is now, states are doing their own thing. And it's just like, it's crazy. You're absolutely right, Lori. Exactly. Yep. Got to bail out the cruise ship industry. And got to bail out the airlines. And God will bail out, crooked businesses that are, owned by crooked politicians. Yes, they all got to get bailed out. But don't help farmers, who feed people. Or, well, in my state, in some states, like everybody that was on food stamps got like extra food stamps. Okay. Pennsylvania, the Department of Agriculture screwed us in Pennsylvania. The only people who got extra food stamps are the people who weren't getting the max benefit to begin with. So, being that I get the max benefit, I am not eligible to get any extra food stamps. Well, that's what kills me when they complain about, the expense of food stamps. But if you look at the whole in a pie sort of chart of the expenditures for everything, food stamps are like such a tiny little part. It's just like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That is true. If the US didn't, get its 2 cents into every damn thing, yeah. But yet the Department of Agriculture here in PA, Governor Wolf apparently wanted everybody on food stamps to get extra stamps. But the Department of Agriculture in Pennsylvania said no, that if you got the max benefit, you're not getting no more. But people who were not getting the max benefit were able to get extra stamps. Yeah, but Chrissy, the only people in PA who got the extra food stamps are folks who were not getting the max benefit to begin with. Maybe they were working part-time, or their Social Security was too high. They are the folks. And I'm not saying, God forbid, like, I'm not begrudging anybody anything. I'm just saying, like, yet the Department of Agriculture in other states, like everybody that got food stamps got like extra. But for whatever reason here in PA, no, they had that little glitch there with it. Like they had a problem with that. I did, Geraldine. Somebody actually mentioned that to me in one of my other chats. I think maybe 3 chats back or something, someone was saying something about that. So, like, talking about like growing your own vegetables and everything. And I was like, no, as long as I'm living somewhere that has dirt and I can dig, I will grow, a lot of my own stuff. No, these big corporate grocery stores don't need to grow their own. No, 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 no. Sorry, no. If I had, like my way, I think there would be more farmers, seriously, like having little roadside farmers markets and everything. But I mean, like, why should a grocery store be allowed to do that? What's wrong with getting things from a local farmer? You're supporting them and their family. Right, exactly, Lori. So it makes no sense why in Pennsylvania treat food stamp recipients one way, but then in another state be like, okay, everybody got it. And yet, here in PA, only the people who weren't getting the full amount were eligible to get extra. Maybe it's because of the stimulus checks. Well, okay, if that's the case, just say it was because of stimulus checks. But the people who got the extra food stamps got their stimulus checks, and I haven't gotten diddly yet. So it can't be tied in with the checks. Depends on where you get seeds, honey. You can get seeds with food stamps. You can get them in Dollar Tree. You can get seeds in Dollar General. And if they're out of certain ones that you're looking for, if you order them, like I ordered the sunflower on Amazon, but I mean, like, I may actually keep some of the sunflower seeds for a snack. Yeah, I don't see why not. The birds like them, so it feeds the birds too. You can get seeds in Walmart. They're not actually that much. If you go to Lowe's, they cost a little bit more. But if you go Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and even check out Walmart, they're not that pricey. And there's a way around that too. If you buy peppers, dry your seeds, save them. You'll have pepper seeds to plant. If you happen to get a squash, save the seeds, dry them. You can plant them. A lot of fruits and vegetables and things like we can actually take the seeds from. Carrots, I might actually do a video about this. Onions, you can cut the top, put them in water, and when you start getting roots, you can transplant them. Same with green onions, same with carrots. There's a lot of vegetables that you can actually start growing in water and then transplant them into dirt. I may do a video about that. Yeah, as a matter of fact, let me know about that if you would like to see a video about that. There is a lot of veggies that we all get in a supermarket, or that you can actually, you don't even need seeds for. You can literally start them off in water and then put them in dirt. If you'd like to see a video about that, let me know, because I've done it already with onions and they grew so quick. Yeah, well, see, if I had food stamps right now, I could actually pay for tomato plants with food stamps because they produce food. You can use food stamps to buy seeds. You can use food stamps to buy any plants that produce food or edible. Okay, if you guys would like a video about that, I can work on a video about that. Definitely. Maybe I could actually, might take about a week or so, because I would have to do like time lapse recording like each day to show how things are growing. But I could do that. Yes, celery, a bunch of different things you can actually grow in water, and then when they have roots, you can actually put them in dirt, and you don't even need seeds. And I have, like, I want to say 5 different veggies right now that I could actually literally use as an example with the video. But yeah, I mean, like, you don't have to buy a lot of seeds. Now, see, the reason I get tomato plants as compared to like grow them from seed, they wind up dying for me when they grow from seed. A couple of years ago, the very first garden we ever had, I saved seeds from tomatoes and I had them growing. They were about this high. We had 8 days straight of rain, no sun, nothing, just rain, rain, rain. This was a couple of years back. Because there was no sun for them, like I used to put them out on a little table every day to get sun. They died on me indoors because there was no sun. So I found that by starting off with plants that are at least, like, about this big, they are already well on their way to growing, so that, you put them in the ground, even if you do have a few days rain, they are going to grow. Trying to grow tomatoes from seed can be very, very tricky if you don't know that you're going to have like nothing but sunny days for like a good 2-3 weeks straight. But if you don't know that, and you have a couple of days of rain, like, oh my God, they they died on me. So yeah, I am going to be uploading another video tonight. It shows what else I planted today, and to get to see Oreo. Oh my God! And he's a brat lately. He's been a brat, lovable, but he's been a brat. He is an original. Well, thank you, Geraldine. That video would probably take, like, I would say probably at least a week and a half until I would actually upload a video like that, because I would have to actually do like time-lapse recording each day just to show, like, you know, roots growing on things and that, just to like give you guys an idea of what it, you know, what it would like look out, or what it should look like as it's growing. You know what, Chrissy, before we moved on Broad Street, I planted pumpkin seeds, but they didn't come up that year. And I did it just for the hell of it. I didn't know a damn thing about growing pumpkin. But a friend of mine told me they probably grew, or at least one would grow the following year. And nobody that we had lived in that building with still lived there after, you know, we moved. So I never got to find out if a pumpkin by any chance ever did grow. I don't have a big enough garden to actually grow pumpkins. I'm going to try some summer squash, the yellow one. The butternut squash is a little harder for us to grow. We usually only get like maybe 2 out of a harvest. Because we found out that they tend to grow better when they are able to like actually climb up onto a trellis and grow that way, instead of just growing spreading out on the ground. So I'm knowing that now, I'm gonna try summer squash. I have the machine that can turn it into noodles. And so I want to see if I could grow a couple of summer squash and basically like make the noodles with them, dry them out in the oven, and just store them, you know, and have like the noodle that way to use in place of pasta if I want to. I did plant lettuce. Now, it didn't grow for me last year. It did not grow for me at all. Kale did, and carrots grew amazing. So this year I'm growing kale again, and I'm also going to try spinach because I love my spinach. I even use it in tacos. I love the spinach leaves. I do. I'm going to try lettuce again. Maybe this time around, you know, it'll work out better for us, considering that, you know, we use better fertilizer than what we did last year. So I don't know. Yes, green beans and peas. The only odd thing I noticed last summer, some of the leaves were getting this white stuff on them. And I've been reading a book over the winter. I was really reading this. It was a discarded book from the library. I paid like 50 cents for it. It's called 52 Weekend Garden Projects. This lady, Nancy, she is from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So I place a lot of faith in what she says because, you know, Lancaster is like central Pennsylvania. And she has a lot of good tips in here. So I was, you know, going through chapters, highlighting things. And she was basically saying that white stuff on green beans and peas, like I was seeing last summer, is a fungus. And to use hydrogen peroxide, spray the leaves with it, and it won't form. So that once they start actually budding and everything, give them a spray down maybe in the morning before I water them with some peroxide. It won't hurt them, and it will prevent the leaves from getting that fungus, because we had to harvest everything, dig all that up, and then plant a new batch. And they grew good because they grow so quick. I was able to get like 6, 7 harvests of green beans and peas last year. But it kept coming back, that white stuff. Yes, I do like it in sandwiches and things like that. It is good. Lettuce with the roots. Oh, wow, I've never heard of that. Hello, Sheila. How are you? Yes, yes, I do. I certainly do. Um, where I want to put tomato plants this year, I had squash and oh, what did I have growing back there? Green onion and my sunflowers. So if I can figure out here how I'm going to get tomato plants, I don't know. I mean, worst case scenario, if I do actually have to um, go out to Walmart, okay, fine, well, so be it, you know. If I got to stand outside to get them, but I don't want to go and then they have no tomato plants either. Like, that is just going to totally suck too. I was going to do a video about things like this, Chrissy, about why I have the crushed eggshells, why I have a spray bottle of cold coffee, why I have a bottle of Epsom salt and water, different mixtures I'm going to be preparing. And I was going to do a little video on that explaining why and what each thing was for, because we don't use like pesticides in our garden. And so we try to use like natural things. Um, I did try the weed killer per se, like with dish soap and that, but it wasn't really working good for us. So I just basically have to be vigilant with weeds. Weeding is the only downside of gardening, getting the damn weeds. And so like literally like every other day, you've got to check and see. And as soon as you see something starting to come up that's not your plant, blim, get rid of it. That basically is the only way to really keep up with weeds, is just like check every day, every other day. And the second something is even poking up a little bit, then you know that that's a weed. Because by now I know what crabgrass and certain weeds and that are and everything. Just like, nope, take it right out. Goodbye, beat it, see ya. Um, well, I don't per se like give it to my plants, Amber. I spray some of them down with coffee. Certain plants attract those very tiny little tiny mites, and coffee is recommended to spray down the leaves with that. They won't go near it. Those particular mites that are attracted to like certain plants, I'm going to have to like actually make a list of what type of things are attracted to what type of plants and why I use like, you know, a certain mixture for this and a certain mixture for that. And it'll go into like a little bit more detail of why I spray certain ones with spinach, because there's certain mites that go after that particular plant. And now hydrogen peroxide is a new one that I learned from that book, to spray down my green beans and peas with that. And I shouldn't see that white stuff on the leaves coming. I will be doing videos, Geraldine, like definitely throughout like the spring and into the summer. So you guys are actually going to see like my garden as it grows. You will, you will. I could do a video of like what weeds I'm removing and why and how I remove them. You're going to see my garden grow. You really will. because I'm going to be doing a lot more filming outdoors. I'm going to see if I could do some like clothing hauls and that outdoors like I did last summer, because a lot of people like the outdoor videos. So I'm going to probably go that route. So you are going to see the gardens grow. You're going to see, oh, wait till you see the sunflowers. Ronnie and I are lucky. Last year, I want to say our tallest sunflower was probably about between 14 and 15 feet tall. But yes, I'll be happy to do one on like that, like with the different sprays and things, and even orange peel. There's a reason why I try to save orange peels in the summer also. Um, yeah, see, I don't have any succulents right now, Amber. I would have to keep something like that out on my veranda because Oreo goes after flowers. My flowers are actually on my veranda right now. I did hear that about succulents, that they do like coffee or tea. Now, I didn't grow any corn. I've never grown corn, but 2 yards over this way, a family had a whole bunch of corn growing 2 summers ago, and they had a lot. It had to be up to, I want to say about, mm, at least 10, 11 feet high. You could see the corn from our yard, just looking down the hill like here in your yard. It was about 10 feet high. They had like a bunch of corn, which was cool. But they didn't grow any last year. So I don't know. I don't know why. Because it sure grew for them. Um, I mean, like I tried to do a variety. You know, I do have a small garden, but I am going to be utilizing every single friggin' pot container I have is going to be growing something. Herbs, and I will have some flowers grown. I'm going to be doing like my hanging bags with for the peppers. When they get to be about this big, I will be transplanting them into the hanging bags. Um, they grow really good in them. I'll be showing you guys what they are because there's bound to be people who aren't sure what I'm talking about. They look a little funny, but actually, because it actually is almost like a hothouse inside, like a greenhouse effect, they grow so good in them bags. If I could actually get my hands on a few more of them, I would. I would definitely get them. They are really, really. They're good to have. I'm going to have peppers in the ground, but I also am going to have some in these bags, definitely. But I'm probably also too going to get like one or two more of these long planters, those long rectangle ones, and get like a lot more potting soil, put holes in the bottom of it. And I'm probably going to be doing maybe like extra peppers and that, or extra green beans, peas. As long as I have at least this much soil in, they'll grow. They'll be good. I didn't get to save any dandelions because the gardeners cut the grass. Um, Iced tea jugs are that for what, honey? I use spray bottles. I mix up different things and keep them in. Actually, what I do, like if I use, say, like a bleach spray bottle, when that's all gone, I will soak the labels off. I will let that sit for like a day, 24 hours, with like some hot soap in and everything, and rinse it out, rinse it out, rinse it out. Fill it up with warm water. Let it sit for a day. Spray it out through the nozzle and everything. And I will let that sit for several days, keep filling it up with water till everything comes out clear. And then I'm just going to mark on the different bottles what is going to be in each one. Like the coffee. Oh, Well, I have a bunch of planters and things downstairs yet, honey. I mean, like, yeah, I can in a pinch. That is true. I still have a bunch of different size pots downstairs and everything. So, like, I'm gonna be good. I might want to get one or two more of them long ones. And like I said, as long as I have at least this much soil in, I could put green beans and peas in that. I could also do cucumbers. I could do more peppers. Um, but I am going to try to make use of every single pot I have downstairs. Herbs and everything. Like a lot of, I'm going to try to have as much growing this year as I humanly possibly can. Oh, okay, Chrissy. I'm sorry. Like, duh, that went over my head. I should have known that's what you were talking about, but I'm like, what is she talking about? Like, duh, you know. Um, because I want to just basically grow as much. I mean, I'm sure everybody has seen, like they're saying that there's going to be like meat shortages. And I joke around when I say this. I say, well, vegans have an advantage. Now, I am not a vegan, obviously, because I do eat meat. Not a lot, but I do eat meat. Um, but right now, in a situation like this, they are probably not the least bit phased when it comes to like um, meat shortages, things like that, because as long as they can go somewhere, even if they can go onto someone's property and grow vegetables, they're going to survive just fine. They'll be fine. What I also wanted to do is get like them big bags of like rice, jasmine, get like big bags of beans, and just like divide them up and store them. I got a bunch of glass jars and things downstairs. I'm going to be doing more like labeling and decorating things like that for a kitchen and everything, but also maybe for like pantry storage too. And as long as you got vegetables and you got beans and you got rice or some kind of noodles or something, guess what? You're never going to starve. You're not going to starve. And there's a gazillion seasonings out there, so you could always make it different and you won't starve. And I hate to say it, but it probably, in a way, would be healthier for folks, maybe to cut back a little bit on the amount of meat that they eat for the time being. Um, I mean, number one, a lot of red meat they say is not healthy for you anyway. But now too, I mean, like I just could never bring myself to buy meat in a supermarket. I go to Hazel Park and get, my meat there. And I like my seafood. And it's a shame I didn't own like a lot of property that I could maybe have like my own fish pond on and, maybe like raise some of my own fish. But then what would you do in the winter? The fish are going to die in the water in the winter. We don't have, unfortunately, the kind of climate that, you could actually have your own little fish pond and fish from all year. We're kind of limited as far as certain things with our seasons, which sucks, really. Um, but I think, like it wouldn't actually hurt folks maybe to swap out a meat dish for something more, maybe like vegetarian, like maybe some sort of, I don't know, like some type of grain or something, whatever. Get used to it because in some areas there probably is going to be shortages. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you have rice and beans, I mean, like, and really stock up on things like that and can grow some of your own vegetables, guess what? Um, you'll be okay. What do you mean the prices went up at Hazel Park, honey? Like, how much? What went up? Everything? Well, I buy like my ground beef and that in bulk, so that usually works out to be cheaper for me than the stores. Well, I kind of expected that too, so yeah, that makes sense. But like I'm saying, if I get that big money, that supposedly coming, I wanted to get a small freezer. One of them, like maybe like about yay big or so, that I could actually fit here in my kitchen. I was going to head to like head out to Hazel Park then and just like stock up on a lot of stuff. 10-pound bag of hamburger for $35. Trying to think, what did I pay for 10 pounds of hamburger? I think when I got it, it was like 28 or $29. 2 months ago when I got some. So yeah, it's gone up a few dollars. But see, I want to get pepper steaks for the grill. And I wanted to get like ground turkey in that too, because I could make turkey burgers and turkey croquettes. Um, I, wanted to get like pretty much a variety of every damn thing because I would rather pay though, Chrissy, a few dollars more than just chance buying it in a store and like something prepackaged, and it's like you don't know that some sick person didn't handle that meat. That's the only thing that I cannot get out of my head is that a sick person could have touched that. And if cold doesn't kill it, and supposedly a certain temperature does, but none of us cook our food to that very high temperature because it would be burned. Like, yeah, so I just wouldn't chance it. Yeah, it makes sense. Everything is going to go up, of course. Mm. But like I said, Chrissy, you know what? I would still rather pay the extra money there than chance getting packaged meat in a store. Like, if it isn't being cut or weighed or that in front of me, I don't know per se who touched it. And knowing that so many people, like were sick and everything in this net, it's like, I don't know. I just can't get that out of my mind. That bugs me. No, I mean, like, I heard that even like Boyers with their Pick 5, my friend said they had like no ground beef when she was there. And I had said to her, why would you buy your ground beef that way? Like, I would rather just go buy 10 pound in paper. Like, yes, definitely a taste difference. Exactly. And everything is fresher. I mean, like, there is, like certain things I like to get from Aldi's when they have them in stock. Um, like these sausage links and that, and the sausage patties and stuff like that. And I like them, better than say like, some of the brands down in Giant or something. It's, like there's certain things I like to get um, from Aldi's there's like a lot of times Giant in their, produce section that they get a lot of good deals. And the one time I got like, oh my God, like $60, $70 worth of vegetables. And it only ran me like $26. And I was making salads and using up a bunch of different stuff. And even Ronnie was surprised at time, like, whoa, all that. And because he figured it was going to be a lot more. And it was like, no, sometimes you got to really check stores and see what they do have on sale. But like, I would like to get like turkey breast, some different things, like, so I would have them. I like these, the cheese stuffed sausages. They're like the hot dogs, but Dollar General carries them. I think there's like 6 in the pack. They are so good on a grill. I would like to get, maybe like 3, 4 packs of them and just keep them for like when we do want to start their own stuff on the grill. An updated everyday makeup routine video. I hear you, Geraldine. Unfortunately, I have slacked off. I haven't even curled my hair lately. I actually have not even worn makeup that much lately. I could do something like that if you want to do like a minimal sort of up look. Yeah, I could definitely do something like that. Again, it would probably be, I would say, at least a week and a half to maybe like about a week and a half or so till I could do a video like that, because I'm going to be working on more of the kitchen videos. I'm going to be doing a baking video, pumpkin bread, and I'm going to be doing more Mother's Day DIYs. So yeah, I could do something like that. I can't guarantee it's going to be, say, like next week, though. Might be a little bit longer. Hello, Lavella. How are you? Well, honey, I don't even need the hand sanitizer. I come there with mask and gloves on, so I is good. I wish I still had my grandmother's tabletop grinder, because I could get like lower quality cuts of meat and make my own, ground meat and stuff. Oh my goodness, really? Wow. Yeah, when I get some ground turkey and turkey breasts and get some ground chicken and stuff, I would be happy to, honey. I don't have anything like that right now, but yes, that I would be happy to, because they are so good, and you can freeze turkey croquettes and chicken croquettes too. If you make a big batch, they freeze really good, and you can have them for another meal or two. No, you know what, Geraldine? I have days sometimes where I stay like honestly in my pajamas, and the only time that like I will be out of pajamas, I want to do a video. So I will jump in the shower, get dressed. I mean, like some days I do have a little bit of eye makeup on, but I mean, it was like lately I kind of stopped wearing it because I'm not even going out to the stores much. So it's like, yeah. Oh, yeah. And the gravy. Absolutely. No, I could do them. That probably won't be for a little bit either, honey. It depends on when when I get my stamps and when I can get out there. But yeah, that definitely is a good idea. Turkey and chicken croquettes, absolutely. They're basically, it's just like a fancier word, Lavella, for patties. Like, um, there's different ways of whatchamacallit, making them. I have a really good recipe with ground turkey and making the mixture for the turkey croquettes, and you make the gravy for them, and they are like really, really good. They're also healthier because you're using the turkey. Um, Chicken, I haven't had them in, oh my God, like probably at least 15 years. My mom used to make them. Um, Again, it's a similar way of making them as you would with the turkey croquettes, just a little bit different seasoning. Think of like, okay, you've heard of salmon croquettes or like crab cakes. Well, it's pretty much like shaped like that. It's just a different word for like a patty, basically. Well, guys, oh my goodness, it is almost, wow, I'm on over 2.5 hours. Wow, it didn't even seem that long. Well, then I'll do a video down the road of how to make the turkey croquettes and the chicken croquettes. They're really good. And the recipe I have for, you can use like ground turkey, ground chicken. And if you make like a big batch of them, they freeze really, really well. And they're good because you don't need a lot of the turkey or a lot of like ground chicken to actually make um, a decent amount of the croquettes either. That's the cool thing. Get out of there, Brad. That's the cool thing about them. You can actually get at least sometimes a dozen and a half, if not almost two, out of like what? Excuse me. Are you going to start already? Yes, I'm talking to you. Don't wink at me. You're starting already. Look at this. Oh, well, he's not looking, but if you could see the look he gives me right now. Yes, I'm talking to you. Don't you be starting your silly stuff again. You can wink. I love you too, but oh my gosh, I'm telling you, like, he was like so bad last night. I'm telling everybody, you have to be put in timeout in the carrier because you have been up to no good lately. I don't know why. Do you have spring fever or something? Is it something in the air? What is it? I love you too, and you're my handsome boy, but you are silly. He was trying to open up. There's one muffin left, right? I made a muffin mix the other day. There's one muffin left, and this little goof is trying to. He can get it open. The little tab. It's like a Tupperware, like a cupcake or like a cookie container. He sees me what the little lip that I pull that up. So he literally turns his head and pulls that up in his teeth and tries to get it open with his snoot, knock it on the floor, knock the whole container on the floor so he can try and eat a muffin. Kid you not. I found that on the floor a few times too. I'll give you a treat tonight if you just stop being so crazy. Neighbor might be out with his little dog. Am I give you a treat tonight? Are you gonna be a good boy? Because if not, buddy, It's going to be time out in the carrier for you. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, good night, Geraldine. It was very nice talking to you too. Oh, goodness. A bad rainstorm? Ay, 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 ay. Good night, Geraldine. Yeah, he gives me that face like, yes, like, Let me go get his treats. I will give him a little extra tonight because he didn't have treats all day. Hopefully, maybe if I give him a little bit extra tonight, he won't be knocking food all over the floor and, holy hell, creating chaos while I'm trying to sleep. So let me go get his treats for him quick. You win, Rugrat. You win. Woohoo! What do I have, buddy? Yeah. What do I have? There. Hold on. Let me get my wash rag up, you silly goose. Okay, where is Miss Feisty? Feisty! Hey, little girl, where are you? Meister, where are you? Feisty? I don't know. I guess she's comfortable in my room and doesn't want to come out. Yeah, because normally she comes running. She might be sleeping now, too. No, she's not coming out, so, oh well. Oh, I'm sorry, Pam. That's terrible. No, you're not getting any more. You got 7 treats. That is way more than the vet ever said to give you. But you didn't have any all day. I just am trying to get you to chill out and stop being bad. You're not getting no more. That is more than enough for the night. Kitchen is closed. Kitchen is closed. Aw, I'm so sorry. Oh no, Lavella, really? See, we've had small tornadoes here in Pennsylvania. I mean, there hasn't been one in Hazleton, but in the summer, we get some hairy rainstorms that, especially the past 2 summers, last summer was bad. I swear in 1 week, maybe one must have had like 6, 7 different tornado warnings. And outside of Hazleton, there was several small tornadoes. So it is quite possible you could have had a very, very, like low grade one touchdown.
Well, I forget there was the one that touched down near Clarkson. It.
Yeah.
Remember?
That's it. You is done. So I'm glad you enjoyed them because you're not getting nothing else tonight, buddy. Alrighty. Peace offering, okay? Are you going to be good? Not knocking anything down? Because if you knock everything down again tonight, you're getting crated at night. And I know you're not going to like that. But you're going to learn to stop being so silly. Crate. You see how the ears go back a little bit when I say crate. Oreo, do you want to go in a crate? Oh, he's giving me the eyes like, crate? Is it crate time? And when I first said the word crate, his ears went back like, Alrighty, guys. It is 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 7 seconds. So when it gets very close to 3, I am going to be calling this live stream, be calling it a night, guys. And I definitely want to thank everybody who, yep, that's right. See, my subs that are in the chat, they're seeing you. They're watching you. They're seeing you. Oh my God. No, I will definitely tonight, Chrissy. Thank you. Oh my God, Lavella, use have the sirens go off. Don't use like for the tornadoes. I. I always remember in the movie Twister, the siren went off, and oh, what was Helen Hunt's character's name? What was her name? Was her name Jo? If I remember correctly, it was her aunt who was in bed when the tornado hit and the sirens went off, but she didn't even make it down her outer house. Yeah. So them sirens, I mean, they really don't save a person's life. If you have no, you're not getting more. Beat it. No. You've just got to be kidding me, buddy. Get the hell out of here. But like if you have a underground, a storm shelter and everything, yeah, I mean, the siren might be enough to just grab your kids, grab your pets, and boom, get in there. But I mean, they don't give more than enough. They don't give enough time for people to like really like get out sufficiently. I would wish that I hope that someday they could develop a better way of predicting like when tornadoes are forming and if they're going to be bad and that kind of stuff, because maybe, just maybe, it would buy people a little bit of time to actually get to safety, you know? Exactly. And when you said that about a siren, I was thinking of that movie Twister. I remember I seen that 3D in the movie theater, and the cow flying around, and that oil tanker and everything. But I remember the siren and everything, and it was her aunt that hadn't even been able to get off the top floor of the house when that siren went off. It hit so quick. Yeah, we get some hairy storms here that really I never seen in one summer as many tornado warnings as we got last year. And then to find out the tornado, I mean, like, I know many years back there was a very small tornado in Freeland. There was a very small one in McAdoo, but that was like over 15, 18 years ago. Come to find out that now they're picking up more and more. And there's more parts of Pennsylvania that have had like small tornadoes. So, I mean, could one ever come roaring through Hazleton? Yes, obviously. Although, I mean, like, we're up, on a hill and we're higher up, but that does not mean anything because I was really astounded to find out that Pennsylvania even has as many tornadoes as it does. You don't hear about them. I certainly don't hear about them, but they do happen. Oh, I could only imagine. I could only imagine. I did see that. I seen videos of that from people on a bridge there in Nashville and were recording with their cell phone and you could see the funnel and everything. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. All right, folks. Well, it has been wonderful chatting with everybody. And I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with me tonight and chit-chatting. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to be uploading another video tonight. It was kind of like the gardening today. The one I uploaded today was from the day I actually did the seedlings, but I recorded that video later on in the afternoon, actually early evening. I'm going to be doing 2 more DIYs this week. Pumpkin bread. I don't know, you know, like I'm waiting on a few samples, but I started getting a couple more things through. If I was to get everything that I actually filled out a form for, oh my Lord, that would be an amazing sample haul, freebie haul. That would be really, really cool. Like I said, I have things coming from Wish. I have things coming from Bova. So trust me, I'm not going to be running out of videos to do, guys. Like I said, shopping hauls may not be so much me going in the store, as compared to ordering online. But, you know, when I do have that ability to do so, I will definitely be showing off, you know, what I get. All right. Take care, everyone. Good night. Be safe. And I will, excuse me, please. Hello. Move. Can you please get down? Move. I can't. I'd like to get to my laptop. Thank you. Oh my God, you big dope. Oh, he's just being bold. Not listening. All right, everyone. Good night. Take care. Yes, Chrissy, I will give you a call. Good night, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.